name is Eric Gibellew, and this video is about rhythm and meter in guitar music. We will learn about simple and compound meters, time signatures, pickup notes, and how to count and play common rhythms. Let's get started.
First of all, what is meter? When we listen to music, we usually feel a consistent pulse called the beat. It feels natural to tap your foot or nod your head along with the beat. Meter deals with the beat in two basic ways. One, the way beats are grouped together, and two, the way each beat is divided. It is common to separate beats into groups of 2, 3, and 4. Each grouping has a recurring pattern of strong and weak beats. Duple meter has a 2-beat grouping, with a strong first beat and a weak second beat. We call the first beat in each group the downbeat. Triple meter has a 3-beat grouping, with a strong first beat, weak second beat, and medium strong third beat. Bar lines separate the groups of beats into measures. Quadruple meter has a 4-beat grouping with a strong first beat, weak second beat, medium strong third beat, and weak fourth beat. Now let's talk about beat division. Simple meter divides the beat into 2 parts, while compound meter divides the beat into 3 parts. The beat unit for simple meter is usually the quarter note, while the beat unit for compound meter is usually the dotted quarter note. We will learn more about these rhythms and how to count them later in the lesson. Listen to this excerpt from the famous classical guitar piece Lagrima by Francisco Tarrega. See if you can tap the beat as you listen. This music is in simple triple meter, so there are 3 beats per measure, and each beat divides into 2 parts. We count the rhythm as 1 and 2 and 3 and, where the numbers mark the beats and the ands mark the division of the beat. Try counting along as you listen again. 1 and 2 and 3. You may have noticed the time signature at the beginning of the musical example. A time signature has a top number and a bottom number. In simple meter, the top number tells you how many beats there are per measure, and the bottom number tells you what the beat unit is. 3/4 tells you that there are 3 beats per measure, and the beat unit is the quarter note. Some common time signatures in simple meter are 4/4, also known as common time, 3/4, 2/4, and 3/8. Here is the well-known Bourrée by J.S. Bach. This music is in simple quadruple meter, so there are 4 beats per measure, and each beat divides into 2 parts. This piece begins with pickup notes, also known as an anacrusis. Pickup notes form an upbeat which builds anticipation for the following downbeat. Since they occupy an incomplete measure at the beginning of a piece, we can count the missing beats in that measure before the music begins. In this case, we would count to ourselves beats 1, 2, 3, and then the music starts on beat 4 in the pickup measure. 1, 2, 3. Rhythm is simply a pattern of strong and weak elements. The length of a note and its location within meter determine if we perceive it as strong or weak. Let's now take a moment to understand some basic note values. The whole note is written as an empty note head and is worth 4 beats. This note value may also be written as a rest. We notate rests to indicate silence. Each measure must add up to a certain number of beats, so it is necessary to write a rest when a note is not sounding. The whole rest is written as a filled-in rectangle that hangs from the staff line. The half note is written as an empty note head with a stem and is worth 2 beats. The half rest is written as a filled-in rectangle that sits on the staff line. The quarter note is written as a filled note head with a stem and is worth 1 beat. The quarter rest looks like this. Eighth notes are beamed together when they occur in groups or written with a flag when they occur by themselves. They are worth half a beat each, so there are 2 of them in a single beat. Notice the symbol for the eighth rest. 16th notes are written with 2 beams when they occur in groups or with 2 flags when they are by themselves. They are worth 1/4 of a beat, so there are 4 of them in a single beat. We would count this measure of 16th notes as 1E and 2E and 3E and 4E and. Sometimes you will see a dot written on the right side of a note head. The dot adds half of a note's value to itself. Since a half note is worth 2 beats, a dotted half note is worth 3 beats. Another way to write this would be to tie a half note to a quarter note. When you see this curved line between 2 notes of the same pitch, then you have a tie, and you should let the pitch ring for the full value of both tied notes. A dotted quarter note is worth 1½ beats. A dotted eighth note is worth 3/4 of a beat, or the equivalent of 3 16th notes. Now let's apply all this knowledge by playing some simple tunes on guitar and counting their rhythms. We begin with Twinkle Twinkle Little Star. The 4/4 time signature means there are 4 beats per measure. The note values are quarter notes and half notes. Try counting it first, then play it on guitar. Finally, count and play at the same time. Here we go. 1, 2, ready, go. Next is Frere Jacques. Notice the time signature, which is the letter C. This stands for common time, which is the same as 4/4 time. Our note values now include eighth notes, so be careful of your counting. Here we go. 1, 2, ready, play. octaves is in simple triple meter, so there are 3 beats per measure. Make sure the dotted quarter notes get a full beat and a half before moving on to the following eighth notes. Also, notice this tune begins with a quarter note pickup. That means we can count out beats 1 and 2 and then come in on beat 3 with the pickup note. Here we go. 1, 2. Now let's try Drunken Sailor. This tune is in simple duple meter, so there are 2 beats per measure. There are also 16th notes in this melody. Count the first 2 measures, 1 and a 2 and a 1 and 2 and. Here we go. 1, 2, ready, play. Let's return now to compound meter. The time signature 6/8 signifies compound duple meter, where there are 2 beats per measure. The beat unit is the dotted quarter note, and each beat may divide into 3 eighth notes. We count the beat division 1 and a 2 and a. The time signature 9/8 signifies compound triple meter, where there are 3 beats per measure. The time signature 12/8 signifies compound quadruple meter, where there are 4 beats per measure. Listen to this excerpt from another famous classical guitar piece, Julia Florida by Agustin Barrios. See if you can count this rhythm in compound duple meter. Also, notice the words rallentando and ritardando in the music. These words indicate that the music should slow down for dramatic effect. Can you feel the beat stretching out in these moments? 1 and 2 and Finally, let's play For He's a Jolly Good Fellow, which is in compound duple meter. Here we go. 1 and 2 and. Thanks for watching. I hope this lesson helped you to better understand rhythm and meter. To enhance your practicing, please pick up my Rhythm and Meter PDF at the link below. You can support this channel by taking private online guitar lessons with me, by making a donation, or simply by liking and subscribing. Happy practicing!